is effective there?
I actually think that it goes beyond messaging, and it's really just about education. So like, a lot of people don't know this story about the New Deal. A lot of people don't know what redlining is. And because of that, it's just like, I don't know why there is a racial wealth gap. And because when people are not educated about the tools and the systems that created racial wealth gap disparities or other wealth gap disparities, it's just like, this is the reality, I don't know. And you create this gaping maw in which someone can tell a racist story that kind of tells people why a certain community is poor. They're poor because they're lazy, they're poor because they're uneducated, they're poor because this, but no one's saying they're poor because they're redlining and everyone else inherited a house except for, people of color.
Yeah.
And so
I got no house.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think a lot of it is part of our personal responsibility to educate ourselves and to get past the revisionist history that we're taught in the 4th grade. And so that's, I think that's an important part, but also the messaging is important as well, in that it doesn't feel good to live in an unequal society. It doesn't feel good. Like, I walk through New York City, which has the highest rate of people who are homeless today than in any other time since the Great Depression. And at the same time, there are penthouses galore, 50% of which are vacant because they're people's like second or third or fourth home. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good walking down New York City and walking and seeing so many veterans who are homeless, so many elderly who are homeless, and so on, people with mental illnesses that are homeless. Like, it doesn't feel good to live in a society like that. And so part of it, I think, does go back to the moral question. It's like, and that's where, you're also able to combat that incrementalism, because it's like, we're talking, for example, with ICE. I've stated very, very clearly, I don't believe that an agency that systematically and repeatedly violates human rights can be reformed. I think it must be abolished. And I got a lot of heat recently in the party because I was really furious when this Republican amendment was able to kind of slip through on a gun safety bill that gave more power to ICE. It allowed gun vendors to report information about undocumented people to ICE. And I was furious about it, and I got a lot of heat for being furious about it because, whatever reason. And so, but the thing is, the reason that I was so upset is because we have an agency that is separating children from their parents and putting them in cages. And CNN was reporting a year ago, CNN had reports of ICE agents pinning down children and forcibly injecting them with antipsychotic drugs. And the thing furious is this idea of like, let's just cage a few less. Let's just inject a few less. Let's just, it's too politically complicated. And for me, what is just so upsetting and heartbreaking about this moment, like, since when did it become the moderate position in America to continue caging children?